The UK has said that it will continue to keep chlorine-washed chicken and hormone-produced beef out of any trade deal that it has with the US. UK Environment Secretary Theresa Villiers has stated that the current European ban on the two foods from the US will be carried over into UK legislation after Brexit. Chlorine-washed chicken and hormone-treated beef are illegal under EU laws for various different reasons. The EU states that feeding cows with growth-enhancing chemicals could potentially result in harm to the humans that eat the product. In terms of the hormone-treated beef, US cattle are often raised on feedlots instead of being grazed on grass. With the chlorine-washed chicken, they acknowledge that while there is no human health threat from using a bleach solution to kill salmonella on chickens, they believe that the process allows American farmers to be less regardful of the welfare of the chickens. The US strongly denies both these claims and instead believe these bans have been put in place by the EU in order to protect their own producers against the threat of cheaper US imports. With regard to the UK and their split from the EU, the United States have made it clear that the trade of both chicken and beef will be central to any UK-US trade deal. Leaked US-UK trade documents also reveal that the US has been trying to establish how far the UK will detach from the EU's stance against US farm trade methods. US officials made their presentation in which they raised the unscientific approach the EU maintains towards pathogen reduction treatments. In other words, chlorinated chicken. The US and the EU have been in dispute over such methods since 1997. In terms of a trade deal, Brexit looked to offer the US the chance to open up a major European economy to its agribusiness after years of failed talks in which the EU has refused to accept its food and farming standards. The issue with the chicken is apparently not only the chlorine wash itself, which can indeed kill harmful bacteria, but rather the concentration used. The World Health Organization puts limits on levels because disinfecting with chlorine leaves behind residues of chlorinated compounds, some of which are known to be cancer-causing. Environment Secretary Villiers has stated that the UK could look to use the WTO rules to impose tariffs on food imports from countries with lower food standards after Brexit. Should the chlorinated chicken and the hormone-treated beef be accepted as imports into the UK, it would lead to cheaper products for UK consumers. However, those who argue against ask at what cost. For the time being at least, it would seem that both are still off the menu for the UK, with Theresa Villiers stating that the country will hold the line in US trade negotiations even if President Trump himself calls on the country to adopt its regulatory standards.